Hi there. Thank you so much for having me on this call. I'm so excited to share with you guys about tracking your customers and your coaches and how I do it. So, while there's not a right or wrong way to doing it, the most important thing is just picking something that works for you and sticking with it. Consistency has been huge for me throughout my business. And so, it's the one thing I preach and teach to my team is just be consistent. So, file through and pick which one works best for you and stick with it. And I know that takes some time to figure out which one works best for you. Um, but there's a lot to choose from. You can do the whiteboard, and I'm sure you've all tried these. I know I have. All of these I've attempted. The power of threes, the business activity tracker, the on your phone with Asana or Cozier. I mean, there's just a ton of apps out there. The Erin Condren passion planners and sticky notes, and then the spiral notebook. And so that's what I want to talk to you guys about, is how I track my business. It's kind of a twofold system, but I do use a pen and paper. I'm a spiral notebook kind of girl. So I'm going to show you that first before I get into the rest of the presentation. So I have a handy dandy about the size of my head spiral notebook. I got it at Staples. You can get it at Office Depot. I'm sure you can get it at Target. And one little trick I learned from going to Beachbody events like Summit and Leadership and things like that is to, when you open it up, you're going to skip the first like 10 to 15 pages. And the reason you do that is because those pages then become your master list, like your master to-do list. I am not just a Beachbody coach. I'm a mom, I'm a friend, I'm a wife. So I've got doctor's appointments, I've got happy hours, I've got chores around the house, I've got lots of other things going on. And I want them in the same place that I'm doing my day-to-day work so that I can revert back to it, check it off, cross it off. I'm a big list maker and check it offer. So I like to check things off my list and I want them all in the same place. So after you skip the first 10 pages or so, you would then, okay, let's say these are our master to-do lists. I would turn the next page and this becomes my Monday, okay? So Monday would be the right side, or the right side of the page would be Monday, and that's my to-do list. So that's everything that I need to get done for the day Beachbody-wise. So everything goes over here that's to do. The left side of the page becomes my contact list for the day. So anybody that I talk to, whether it's messages that people are sending to me, new like messages, people that I'm friend requesting, new customers that I'm talking to, whoever it may be, they go on this left side. So then Tuesday, I would turn the page and Tuesday's contact list would go here and the to-do list would go here. So if I get to Friday and I'm like, shoot, who do I need to catch up with? Who was I supposed to follow up with? I'd just go back and look and I'd say, oh yeah, on Monday I talked to Susie Q and she said, follow up with me on Friday. So I write down on my customer list or on my contact list who it is and what we talked about. I don't really need to know the date because it's on the same day as Monday. So I know, okay, Susie Q wanted me to follow up on Friday because she's out of school. I'm going to follow up with her on Friday. So that's how I organize my spiral notebook. It just makes it easy for me. So let's get back to the PowerPoint. Okay, so what I'm going to talk to you guys about is, I'm going to break it down for you. It's the 3 Ds that I follow. So my daily to-do list, which I semi-told you about, I'll go into more detail, the current business that I'm running, my customers and my coaches, downline tracking from my PS coaches and their activity on Facebook, and then diamond tracking. So monitoring what my diamonds are doing on a weekly basis. So in my spiral notebook, this is what goes on my to-do list. It looks like a lot, but I actually have it broken up into two two 2-hour time blocks. So I've learned early on in this business that I need to time block. That's how I work best. I work best in small chunks at a time with a break in between. So I also learned from one of my mentors that if you're a leader, so leader in this group, and you're working more than 4 to 5 hours a day on your business, you're doing too much. Like if you're spending 8 hours on this as a leader, you're doing something wrong. So I've learned to crunch my time down into good 4 or 5 hours a day and get my work done. So I want this training to apply to new coaches who are just getting started, emeralds that are pushing and building a team, to star diamonds that are growing and pushing for elite and for star diamond status. So wherever you are in your business, I hope that you can pick up in these 3 different Ds that I'm talking about and apply some of it to your business. So you can see what's on my to-do list. I work on my business for the first part of the day, what's going to grow my business. And then I save my team and growing and helping them grow their teams for the second part of my day. I plan my fan page posts, I plan my personal posts, I check into my challenge groups, I respond to customer messages, not coach messages, unless it's an emergency. I send new invite messages, new like messages, I add new friends, I connect with my customers, send Shakeology notices. I'll go into detail on all this, do my personal development to grow my mind, and then I do some sort of training, whether I'm providing a training or making a training for my team, or I'm training myself to grow my skill as a leader. And then I work out. I take a break in my day because I feel like we all need a break. So I take a break. Again, I'm a stay-at-home, work-at-home mom, so I have the luxury of doing so, working out, eating lunch, drinking my shake, taking a walk around the block, maybe running to the grocery store. Then I come back fresh, okay? I come back with a fresh mind. I've worked out, I've burned some calories. Then I start working on my team, check into the groups, answer questions, rank advancements, successes, whatever. Keep them going. Training groups, respond to their messages. And the reason I wait to respond to their messages is because I have found that if I do wait and I'm not immediately responding, they go and find the answer for themselves. Unless it's an emergency, unless they really need something like stat. But most of the time, they go and find it themselves. And so it's just a good mama bear tip for you guys. Then I check notifications. I wait until the very end of my day to check notifications, and I do this for a couple of reasons. One, it's a huge distraction for me. I get tagged in a lot of stuff. So when I see stuff popping up, I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta go check it. I gotta go check it. And I do scope out for some things that might be important. People need a response immediately. But I wait to tag for a second reason, because when I go back and respond to all the tags and I tag people back, it gets my stuff in the news feed again. Gets my stuff in front of new people's eyes. So the first flow of people saw it that morning, and then I tag people back in it again, and it goes back in the newsfeed again. So that's another trick to why I wait to respond to my notifications. Then I check my coach interest list, and it's how I engage and check in with my team on Facebook and see what they're doing. I'll go into detail about that. And then my coach and team calls, one-on-ones, things like that. However, they're scheduled throughout my day. And then at the end of my day, I take 30 minutes to close shop, and I'll explain what that means too. So that's what goes into my, spiral notebook, and it's what I'm working on every single day. So, like I said, adding to your network, those things that were bolded is what I'm going to really focus on. So, adding to your network, people that you may know from your friends, who are some of their friends that you may know that you can friend request and touch base with and say, oh my gosh, it's been such a long time. I send new like messages and connect with my fans on my like page. I'm always asking for referrals and asking people, hey, bring a friend, join my challenge group and bring your friend, like bring your best friend or bring your mom, or the more the merrier. So I'm always asking for referrals. And then my customers that are purchasing from me, and then my leads that I'm having. And you find those through your alerts in your Coach Online office. So what I do with my current customers that are buying from me, let me go back, sorry. Okay, so after I reach out to people that you may know, and I friend request some people, and I send you like messages, I write it all down in my spiral notebook. So just to show you guys from like yesterday, here's what a page looks like. So all my contacts, and I did send some messages, so I need to go and fill that out. And these are new friends that I added, and then my daily to-do list. So I write everyone down, all my new likes, who I paid $1 for, who responded back to me, what they said, what they're interested in. Everybody goes down on my spiral notebook from my adding to my network list. And then with my current customers, I write them in my list too. And what I do for them, and what my team we've all worked together on sharing this throughout the team, is whether they've ordered just regular product from me or challenge packs, I send them a handwritten thank you card and thank them for their order. And the reason that we do this is because customer service is huge. I come from an HR background, and so I know what it means to have great customer service. People want an answer yesterday in that world. And so when you provide such awesome customer service, people want to come back to you. They want to refer people to you. They become your best customers if you become their best support. So customer service is huge. It goes a super long way. And these are the people that are buying from you already. So you want them to stick around. You want them to maybe think about coaching. they're already using the product. So you got to take care of them. Okay. That's a big deal. So I even send my challenge pack orders or challenge pack customers a small gift to thank them and just say, thanks. Like, I'm so excited to start this fitness journey with you and to get you well on your way. Here's a packet of E&E. I mean, that's a small token that you can part with, right? To get you started, let's get ready to get sweaty. Sorry. And then Shakeology customers, so challenge pack orders come with HD Shakeology, and then people that are ordering just Shakeology HD, I email them to remind them of their next order because sometimes they don't get it. Sometimes they're like, wait a minute, why do I have another order? Wait, I didn't know that I signed up for this monthly. So I always email them a week before their next HD order with a couple of options and a reminder, hey, you have your next Shakeology order is going to be shipping soon. How did you like the chocolate flavor? Did you want to change it? And or did you want to cancel? Remind them of the 30-day money-back guarantee, which I probably wouldn't market that really big, but and or offer them the 25% discount. Like, hey, look, you've been drinking this for 30 days, and if you're looking to drink it for continual months, maybe you'd like to save 25% on it. And if you would, let me know. I'll hook you up, whatever. Shakeology is our bread and butter in this business. It is the product that gets sold the most, that gets ordered and ordered over and over and over again the most. It's our residual income product. So when you have people drinking it month after month after month, those are the best people to sign up as discount coaches and hope or work with them to grow this into a career business for themselves, a career coach. So I spend a lot of time on my customers because, again, the more customer support you provide for them, the more they're going to trust you and the better they're going to treat you and responding with referrals and being a repeat customer. So just a small takeaway for you guys, and that's what I do. So all of these people, I'm sorry, let me show you how you find your customer orders. And this is the easiest way that I've found to do it. So you go to My Business, My Orders, My Customer Orders from your Coach Online office. And then it's going to pull up this sheet, this report, if you will. And so what it does is it pulls the dates by chronological order. So I know that on May 4th, I needed to go send Tammy an email or a message that says, thanks for your Shakeology order. I'm so excited for you to try it. Did you have any, did you need any recipes? Did you need a shaker cup? I mean, things like that that are going to get her talking and responding to me. And then I also go back 30 days. So if today is, the 7th, I guess it's the 27th. We'll say it's the 27th. Then I go back to April 27th. And I know, okay, so the week of April 23rd, I had one Shakeology, we'll say two Shakeology orders. So I know I need to probably go ahead and send them a message and say, hey, or an email and say, hey, your next Shakeology shipment's coming out. I do this once a week, every Monday. And I go back to the week prior and then 30 days prior. And so you want to always be on that same schedule so that you don't miss people and miss them through the cracks. So that's why it's important to track who you're sending all these messages to. It goes a long way. Okay. So all those people that I add to my network, my friends that I may know, friend requests, customers, referrals, new customers, new leads, new friends, new like messages, they all go into my spreadsheet because I wrote them down in my notebook, and at the end of the day, I go back and I plug them into my Excel spreadsheet. This is on Google Drive and Google Docs, so I can access it from my phone, I can access it from my husband's computer, from my mom's computer, I can access it when I'm in the car. It just makes it an easy one-stop shop for me. And because I like to write things down, I remember it better when I plug it in again. So then I remember things that it's weird. It's the way my brain works. So I'll remember, oh yeah, we talked about da-da-da. I remember that. So now I've remembered it twice because I wrote it down and I've typed it into my Excel spreadsheet. So again, people just like to feel special. And so when they reach out to you or you reach out to them and you can remember like their daughter was having surgery or they were, taking a test for their PT, whatever. So when you can remember those little details, it's huge. And so that's what I track here. I track what we talked about, what their needs were, what they were asking about, everything that I can think of to help me, be able to, in 30 days, talk to them again and remember things. Then I actually rank them. I rank them on who I'm going to focus on that month. So from customers to prospect coaches, I want to pick like 10 or so people, like 10 or so coaches and maybe 20 or so customers that I want to reach out to, and I want to stay in touch with. I want to be like on their radar. And then what I do with those people is I put them into an interest list. I do this with my coaches and I do this with my prospects, okay? I'm going to show you how to set that up on Facebook. If you haven't heard of these interest lists, they are amazing, and they are working so well for me right now to help keep me organized on Facebook. So again, I'm not getting distracted in that news feed because it's such a distraction for me. So what interest lists do is you pick out the people that you want to see on Facebook. You put them in this interest list, and then when you click on that interest list name, it only pulls up those people in your newsfeed, what they're posting, what their status updates are, the pictures, only for those people that you've put on that list. So it's pretty cool. So I use it, as you can see, I have some already set up. It's in the left side of the left column of your Facebook homepage. On that left sidebar, under interest, you would just click interest and it would pull up the step 2 and you would add interest. So I have some set up for my family because I always want to stay in touch with my family. I never see their stuff unless I go to my my interest list because I just get so much stuff in my newsfeed, so much clutter. I have one set up for my coaches so that I can check in with them at the end of the day. I can like their posts. I can give them feedback or celebrate a great post that they did, or just be in touch with their lives, know if they're having a bad day or if they're having a good day. I have some inspiration ones set up, and then there's a lot more that you can't see. So you would just click add interest, and then step 3, you're going to create the actual list. They give you suggestions on some that might be public that you can join and be a part of, but I like to keep mine private so that it's just for me, for my eyes only. And then you just start adding people. So you would start adding Abby and Abigail and whoever it is that you want on these lists. Click next, make it private or public, and then name your list. And then it's going to always show up under that interest list, and you can constantly click on it once a day. So I add my current challengers to once a month, because I usually have one challenge group going a month, 1 or 2. So I add my current challengers to that because I want to see what they're doing outside of the challenge group too. Challengers and customers, those are your biggest prospects. So any customers that you have that are leads, or any challengers that you have, those are huge coach prospects. They could be just rocking it in your challenge group. And so I like to see what they're doing on their real time. I call it real time, like out in their real world, away from the challenge group. Are they sticking to their guns? Are they really quiet in the group, but they're like motivating everybody, or they're just so inspiring on their page? So I do an interest list for my current challengers, for my coaches, my PS coaches, and their pages, so that I can stay in touch with them. And then from my Excel spreadsheet, I create a prospect list for the month of specifically coaches that I really want to prospect coaches that I really want to follow and engage with. Because let me tell you, here's a little tip. When you start engaging with people on Facebook like that, so let's say that Sally was a prospect coach I've had my eye on for a while. She's a group instructor, when I start engaging in her posts, it looks like to her that, hey, Sarah really does want to get to know me. Like, she's genuine. She cares. And I do. I've singled her out, and I'm making her an interest list because I do want to get to know her. But it also starts showing her more of my stuff in her newsfeed. So it's kind of like that, hey, you give me some, I'll give you some. And that's how Facebook treats it. So then they start seeing more of your stuff, which is obviously what you want. So these interest lists have been working really, really well for me. So I just wanted to share that tip with you guys, and it helps keep me organized on Facebook so that I'm not scrolling endlessly and mindlessly through the newsfeed. Okay, so now moving to the next D. Well, that interest list is part of the downline tracking my PS coaches and my downline through my interest list. I also do it from a business standpoint too. So the Facebook part's fun. I use my sponsorship drill down report like crazy for my downline and for my diamond. So whether you're an emerald coach, you're still a leader, you can use this sponsorship drill down report, or you're a diamond, or you're a star diamond. You should be using this sponsorship drill down report just to look and see what your coaches are doing, and to dig levels deep in your downline. So I think that's huge. Depending on how you're growing your business, whether you're going for rank or you're going for volume, bank or rank, that saying, you want to know who is working in your downline, because they're going to ultimately help build volume for you as an upline coach. And so I like to dig layers deep and find who's working and who could use my help and my support. And this is exactly how you can do that with this report. What I'm specifically looking for on a weekly basis is inactivity, and that's in the red, red inactive, and PV. So I want to make sure that specifically my diamonds, because being, qualifying 8-star, 5-star diamond coach, they help my business stay stable. So I want to know what their business looks like. And so I've taught them, I teach by duplication. So they are looking, I'm looking. It's 2 sets of eyes that are checking this every Wednesday night so that no one goes inactive and loses rank. So just so you know, if you do see a red inactive like you see on the report, it means that that coach is going to go inactive that next week. So this is a Wednesday night that you're looking at the report. They're going to go inactive on Thursday, which could or could not affect your rank. So if they don't order anything by Wednesday at midnight Pacific Standard Time, that's 50 PV, you could be in jeopardy of your rank. So I do a drill down for all my coaches that are pushing for rank. So if I have a coach that's about to be emerald and they have an inactive that's red, I'm going to figure out what coach it belongs to, what's going on, like was it just an order that hasn't happened yet, or what is it? We're going to figure it out. So I do it for coaches that are pushing for rank and for my diamonds, because again, if you're a leader, you have to treat this like a business, and you can't point fingers. So if something happens, you have to be the one to take the blame and say, well, I didn't look at the downline. So I do this every week. If you see a black inactive on the report, it means that it's already happened. Like it's in the past. There's nothing you can do about it until the next bonus period. So the red one means it hasn't happened yet. They're just warning you. So that's why it's red. And that's the difference between red and black. Oh, so looking at this diamond, this is one of my diamond coaches. And so you would want to make sure, if I was, doing this, I'd say, okay, well, she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 active coaches on her left leg and an emerald. She's fine. This one is not going to affect her rank, but I may want to just point it out to her and be like, hey, is she okay? What's going on? I thought she was working the business, blah, 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 whatever. So I like to know what's going on, and that's how I do it. I also look for PV because, again, PV, if they're going inactive, it means they don't have enough PV. PV is your, like as a coach, your individual purchases plus your customers' purchases. So that all counts as PV. You don't get PV for your team. That's called team volume, TV. So you only get PV from your personal orders and your customers. So I like to look for all the columns on this. This is the same. This is the same report. So I like to look at every single column, and if every single column doesn't have at least 50 PV in it, I look at what's going on. So you see one that has a 0 in it. I know that person's probably a black inactive. They're probably not doing anything. I see one that has 10 in it. So I would be concerned because there's only 10 PV in that column. So every 5 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, you need 50 PV in your business center to stay active as an emerald coach. It goes up higher in different ranks. So just be cautious of that. But as a coach, you need 50 PV. So this person only has 10. I would say, okay, I need to give them, there's week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. So in 4 weeks, if they don't have any more PV, they're going to go inactive because they don't have enough. They need 40 more PV points. So same for the 45 down there. 45 is not enough to keep you active. What I do want to draw your attention to is FAQ 1522, and it's called Active Status Guarantee. And this is just something I learned, so I want to share it. It applies to PV. If you're currently a coach and you're active on Shakeology Home Direct, which is 90 PV, then you're great. You're golden. You're going to stay active each month because you have a monthly order of Home Direct that's 90 PV. But if one of your customers returns an order of Shakeology that they ordered at the beginning of the month and they return it at the end of the month, you're now at a 0 because negative 90 PV returned added with your PV is 0. So you lose an active. You lose your active status as a coach. You go inactive. which you're like, what? How's that? So active status guarantee guarantees that if you're on a home direct order of Shakeology with 90 PV, you will never be penalized for a return order like that. So this has come up several times with my coaches. So just know that moving forward with your team that you can help save the day with an active status guarantee. So then I take it one step further with my diamonds and how I track them. So we talked about tracking my customers and customers and contacts, if you will. We talked about tracking my downline and setting up interest lists and then using the sponsorship drill down report. And then now I'm going to talk about the diamond. So if you're a diamond pushing for star diamond status, or if you're already a star diamond, I highly recommend doing something like this, because not only does it help, I mean, if you're a visual person like I am, but I have to see things like laid out when I'm looking at something like this. I can't just look at a report and be like, huh? So I had to do it my way, color code it so I knew what was going on. Every Wednesday I come in and check what my diamonds are doing, like I showed you. And then I break it down even further to this so that I can visually see what their business center looks like. I'm trying to grow star diamonds on my team. They want those goals. They have goals of being 5-star and elite coaches this year. So I'm working really hard to help them grow that and get there. So I want to know what their business centers look like. I want to know if it's lopsided. I want to know where their next placement should be. I want to know, who their next emerald is and what their, who their next coach that they're going to sign up is and where they're going to put them. So I've broken this down in my Excel spreadsheet that I showed you guys earlier with tracking. The nice thing about Excel spreadsheets is that they can have tab after tab after tab after tab in one workbook. So I have one workbook that's called my Elite Workbook, and then it has all these different tabs for tracking my business. And it's all on my Google Drive so that I can access it from anywhere. And then I have my pen and paper too. So being a leader, you have to be in tune with your diamonds because they're rocking your business. They're going to help you build your business too. So you need to know what's going on in their business center. So as you can see here, I've broken it down by their business centers. I know I only deal with their active coaches and making sure that they have enough, because as you jump in rank, you have to keep adding coaches. So like a 2-star diamond coach needs 10 coaches on each side. 5-star diamond coach needs 20 on each side. So you have to keep those things in mind when you have coaches that are striving for these bigger goals. And then, I watch for inactivity. So like you can see here, Megan, she's one of my 1-star diamond coaches. She has a girl going inactive. So I'd be like, hey, what's going on with Stacy? And hey, your next coach should probably be on that side. And hey, we're going to try and get Matt, her husband, to diamond. So I know those things so that when I have one-on-one calls with her or when we have our diamond calls, I know, maybe even better than they do, what their next move is in their business and what I think is going to help them build a more stronger or successful business center. And then I know what their goals are. I know if they're building for rank or if they're building for volume. So I know that my coach, Michelle, she could care less about being 2-star diamond coach. She just wants to make money in this. She's creating a financial freedom for herself. So I know that her goal is to build that weak leg, which she is doing. You can see it's twice the size as her right leg. So I know what leg they fall on. I know a lot about my coach's business centers. And so again, from a leader's perspective, you need to dig this deep in the downline. I know who my coaches are, who their working coaches are, how I can reach out and help them. That's just something that I enjoy doing. And I think it grows a more stronger and stable business for not only yourself, but for your team. So that's how I track my business. I hope it was super helpful. If there's any questions at all, please feel free to message me or comment in the post below that Teresa posts this recording in. I will be glad to answer them. But I hope it was very helpful, and I hope that it helps you start tracking your business a little bit better. And hey, if you find a way that works better than any of this, please let me know, because I'm always looking for ways to improve. So thanks again for your time, and I will talk to you guys soon.